loading up podcast. Game on.
Perfect. Welcome back to the Loading Up Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brother Zay, and today we have with us Producer J.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? How you been?
I've been really good. This week has been really good. Also annoying, but very good.
All right. Before we get into all the shenanigans of today's show, let's talk a little bit about our sponsors. Because down below in the link, if you're watching our YouTube, you click the links. You can get some savings for all our listeners. We got W Energy, where you get 10% off by using code LUP at checkout. We also have a link for NordVPN, where you can get a VPN with 67% off of a 2-year plan. That's a massive savings. We also have a link for Starforge Systems, where you could get pre-built PCs or custom PCs with the link down below. Don't forget to like and comment and share us if you're listening on the podcast apps. We really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you. All right. Producer J, talk to me. Man, what have you been playing? What's been going on?
So I've been playing a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm still going through my Kingdom Hearts. I finally did everything that I had to do for Kingdom Hearts 1.
Okay.
Now I'm moving on to Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm working my way through that now. Well, not Kingdom Hearts 2. Let me it's Chain of Memories, which was the one in between. I know the naming stuff is all confusing for Kingdom Hearts.
Don't get me started with that. It's like Kingdom Hearts 1.8 times 3. I don't know. They're all weird.
Yeah, it's very convoluted, the naming structure that Square Enix went for. But yeah, so I'm playing through that. That one's more of a shorter one, so I should be done with it like probably by next week or something like that. It's really not that long at all. But I've been playing, surprisingly, I started Supermarket Simulator because that dropped that dropped on Game Pass, and I just started playing it, and it's really like calming. Like, it's simple,
Exactly.
but it's like I never was I don't want to say I wasn't a fan of the simulator games, but I never understood them because I was just like, why would I want to do stuff that I wouldn't want to do in real life? But this one, I don't know, it feels different. It's just calming. It's mundane. I just got to
Yeah.
manage my store and work the cashier, work the register, and
No.
yeah, it's simple, but
It's
I don't know.
fun.
It's
It's
fun.
relaxing. You're
It's
just chilling,
relaxing.
playing games.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've been playing that. Also been playing Blood. I got back into that.
Oh, no.
I know. It's like that game is like on and off for me. I don't know why. I just like get random like wanting to play it. So yeah, I was playing that a little bit this week. I do want to tell you. Well, I mean, you already know, but
Tell me.
I actually got. I mean, the Xbox ROG Ally. So
Yeah.
if you look at our TikTok, you kind of know that I already got it, but but yeah, I do want to talk about it a little bit though, because honestly, I was on the fence for a while when they first announced it. Even when we first saw the leaks, and we saw the design of it, both of us were just like, I don't know, it doesn't look like a real good like design, especially with the hands and stuff, the handles or whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a good device, and I was heavily against the design. But like overall, after time passed, I got used to it, and I would say holding it in your hands, it is like, honestly, it's the best. And I've held multiple handheld gaming whatever, PCs, whatever. I've held multiple. I've held the Switch, obviously Switch 2. I haven't yet, but I'm assuming it feels similar. I've held the Lenovo Legion Go because one of my cousins has it, and he let me use it. That screen is gigantic. Like, it's way, like, it looks great, but it's way too big for me. Pause. But but yeah, so yeah, I've held that, and obviously I had the original Ally, and this feels like it feels like how a gaming handheld should feel. Like it feels the best. It feels like I'm holding a controller. And like I was so against it at first, but now I get it. It feels great. And I'm honestly like I'm loving it. I'm loving how it feels. I'm loving how it plays. It's for a lot of people, they're kind of like on the fence about it. Is it worth $1,000? Like obviously that's a lot to ask for, and I wouldn't recommend anyone buy it at that price. But if you can, if that's not like that much of an issue for you, like if you're able to afford it, then I definitely recommend somebody, even if you already own an Ally, it's that much of an upgrade. Like so I had a little bit of a like a little bit of a scare when I first started it up and started downloading stuff. So one of the first things that I wanted to do, because I mentioned it before, that Clair Obscure Expedition 33, I love the game. I played on the Xbox. It runs like shit on the original Ally. Like it just there's no way around it. It's
Original
terrible.
Ally, the original.
Yeah, the original Ally, yeah. The original, the one that I had. It ran like dog shit. Like I'm not there's no way around it. I would have to lower it below 720p to get it running like stable. Not even like better, like stable. So it didn't like run at like freaking 20 frames per second.
Yeah.
So that was one of the first things, because it was Xbox has this new verified system, similar to the deck verified system, where it'll say if a game is like, I guess I wouldn't say it's optimized, but if it can run on the device.
Yeah, if it's
And
playable.
yeah, if it's playable. And when you start the game, it does a little pop up and it says, "Hey, this is like all the settings, all the stuff that checks off. There might be some settings you have to adjust, but overall, it runs fine on this device." And that's what it said. Some games don't support it yet, but I think it's more of like they're gonna have to go through it, and eventually more games will get added over time. But it said that it was supposed to be able to run fine, so I opened it up and I was worried because it was running like dog shit still. And I was scared. I was like, what happened? They advertised that it was going to be working on it. Come to find out that I had it running on the lowest power setting. So that's why I wasn't running. So I was like, oh, okay. So then I switched it to the high power setting, and let me tell you, it ran like butter. Like it was so smooth, and it felt I didn't have to change that much settings. It was so, like, honestly, for me personally, it was worth it just for that. Just to be able to run the game that didn't run on the first one, and now to run excellently on this one is just like it's kind of like it's validating in a sense. So that's kind of like what sold it for me. I was worried. I was like, oh shit, did I waste my money? Like, but but yeah, so I was happy and relieved that it was just it was user error. But yeah, overall I'm having a blast with it. I've only had a few days, but like I'm putting it through its paces. I'm downloading all the games, and now it has a bigger storage, so I'm able to download more games on it than I was before, because I only had like maybe 12 games on there, and that was, I mean, there were smaller games, but I mean, I had Call of Duty on there. Obviously, that takes up the most. But now I downloaded Call of Duty, and I still got more than half space left with all the other games that I had. So it's it's working. That increased storages, and it's also, I didn't even know this. It's actually a regular like M.2 SSD. It's not that.
Upgrade it.
Yeah, so I can change it out if I want to,
Mhm.
and it's not that custom one that they used. So that's a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so overall I'm really happy with it. Now, the question is this an Xbox? Because that's what's been on everybody's mind for the past few weeks as this thing was getting ready to release. So it is and it isn't.
Yeah.
And I will say it's not an Xbox in the sense that you're not getting the true 100% console experience. It's very close. I will say that the OS is very functional, and it feels like, I want to say it's like 80% there. There's a little bit of hiccups here and there where you kind of have to go back to like the Windows menus and stuff like that. It's kind of like a half step in between that, but I feel like it's a good step in that direction of giving you that console like feeling on a PC handheld. So out the box, it still feels like a PC, but it's the most console like PC that I've ever felt. I mean, and not that I've ever. I mean, I only had the Ally, so that's my experience with it. I don't know how others work with that OS, but I'm assuming it's similar. I mean, I think like the MSI Claw and the Legion Go have their own kind of pseudo OS stuff. Like
They use Steam OS, if I'm not mistaken, right?
the
I know
what?
the Steam Deck uses Steam OS,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Well, I forgot to mention the Steam Deck, and I also held the Steam Deck. Like that
yeah,
one, this still feels better than that. But no, but I meant like the Ally, the original Ally had the Armory crate, Asus
yeah,
ROG Armory crate, and that kind of acted like the OS feature. So that way you just click the button, it opens it up, and it's basically just an app that runs on top of Windows. So that way you don't have to see anything on the background, and that's like the kind of like the way to like get around um still being Windows, but giving you that console like feeling, whatever. But it wasn't anything special. It was literally just a list of all your games that you have installed, and then just click and open it, and then sometimes it'll boot back into the desktop and then load the game. So it wasn't the best, and I'm sure, like I said, the other handhelds have something to that effect. But this one, like, this is true. Like, you don't have to boot into the desktop at all. Like in the 3 days that I've had it, or 4 days at this point, um, I think I only had to boot into the desktop once, and that was because I wanted to change something. I wanted to I wanted to change my lock screen so it could be like a custom photo every time I like turn on the device. But
yeah,
literally that's all I did. That's the only reason I had to open the desktop. Otherwise, I did everything in the full screen experience. And like I said, it's not 100%. There's still hiccups, there's still glitches. I still feel like it's kind of like an ongoing process. And that's
yeah,
also why we heard before that Xbox was kind of pausing their development on their own handheld, their own first party handheld, and putting everything on this, because I do think they want this like full screen Xbox experience to be like the future of Xbox. And that's where I feel like that's the determining factor, because yes, this is a gaming PC, but what it means to be an Xbox is different now. There's so many people who still think that, oh, Xbox is the console. And yeah, for a long time that's what it was, but that's like saying the Switch 2 is a Nintendo. Like, yeah, it is, but Nintendo is much bigger than the Switch 2. Like, when you think Nintendo, you don't automatically think Switch 2. You think Mario. You think all the IPs that are associated with it.
yeah.
And then you think of the Switch 2. But before that, it was the Wii, and before that, it was the Wii U, or the GameCube and 64 and all that stuff.
Most
So
normies still call it Nintendo. Just everything Nintendo, whether it's a Switch or the Wii, they still call it just Nintendo.
exactly, it encompasses more than just the console.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Xbox is going for. And same thing for like other device like Apple. Like Apple, you don't call the iPhone an Apple. That's the iPhone, but it's the Apple iPhone. So it's like, but you don't say that. You just call it the iPhone. So I think that's what Xbox is going for. They're trying to make Xbox the all-encompassing brand that has different aspects to it. That has the console, has PC, has cloud, has mobile, and then like it's available on other devices like PlayStation and Switch and all that stuff. So it is an Xbox in that sense, but I think too many people are hung up that, oh, console equals Xbox. when that's not the case. That's the case for PlayStation, maybe, for now. But for Xbox, it's changing. And a lot of people who, I mean, we grew up on the console. So it's a hard transition to make. But I think all this stuff is not with the current generation of gamers in mind. It's with the future in mind. Because in the future, the gamers, they're not going to care where they want to play. They care about the games. My kids, they don't care if they're playing Roblox on the Xbox or on their iPads. They're just playing Roblox. It doesn't matter where they're playing it. They just so happen to have an Xbox to play with it. So or Xbox console to play with it. But in the future, Xbox could be anything. So I think that's
Xbox
what
is everything. Wherever you play an Xbox game, whether it be on the console, on the PC, on your phone using the backbone, or on a ROG Ally, it doesn't matter if you're playing an Xbox game. You're playing an Xbox, and that's the
yeah.
whole point of the marketing, And all these people online talking about like, oh, it's not an Xbox, oh, it's not an Xbox. But if that's the case, then a Portal isn't a PlayStation because you can't play your games natively; you stream them.
Right.
So
Same with the Switch too. Is the Switch 2 not Nintendo because you can't play GameCube games on it? Like
exactly, but you
that's
stream them online,
yeah. That's not how
So
that works.
exactly, it's still Nintendo. That's still a PlayStation. This is still an Xbox. It's just that the company is evolving. They're not into the console wars anymore. The Xbox lost the console war last generation during the Xbox One and PS4 era. They're now on to the platform wars, and Xbox is years, maybe 5 or 6 years ahead of all the competition right now.
Yeah, and I think it's like I said, it's hard for the traditional console gamers to grasp that. And even then, like there's so many people who they'll talk about Xbox in a negative sense, like, oh, like look what they're doing. I might as well just get a PC. Yes, get a PC. That's what they're heading towards. Like
It's
that's
still an Xbox.
yeah, that I don't understand that logic where like somehow getting a PC is gonna somehow sidestep Microsoft and Xbox. Like there's an Xbox app, like maybe you don't have to use it, but if you want to play their games, you can get it on there, you can get it on Steam, you're still supporting them. So it's like unless you completely boycott Xbox altogether, then like you're not doing anything. You're not sending any message. You're just reinforcing the moves that Microsoft is making. So
I
yeah,
also
anyway.
also want to point out that they made this whole Xbox marketing that anything's an Xbox or everything's an Xbox. They made it so that people could talk about it. And guess what people have been doing?
They're
Nothing but
talking about.
talking about it. That's it. It's free PR for them. Whether it's a fanboy on the PlayStation side or whether it's us talking about it or just regular people. If they're saying, hey, your phone's an Xbox, guess what? You just talked about their marketing scheme. Their marketing scheme, whether you agree with it or not, whether you think it's dumb or not, it has worked. We're talking about it. They're talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. And whether you say no, that's not an Xbox, it doesn't matter. You already are talking about it. You put it out there into the universe, and unfortunately, it is an Xbox. That's it. It's an Xbox, and just the same way, you can play. My PC is a PlayStation. It's an Xbox. It's a PC. It's the whole thing. I
Yeah.
can play Ghost of Tsushima on my PC. I can play Spider-Man 2. I can play Call of Duty. I can play Keeper. I can play Gears of War. All on my PC. So they're it's all the same.
Yeah, I think like I said, it's a hard concept to grasp, but eventually all of this will be like a dumb talking point when everybody's able to play everything everywhere, like wherever they want. That's again, I've always said this. Choice is the ultimate advertisement. Like when you have the choice of getting what you want and the playing the way you want it, that's the ultimate device. So anyway, all that to say that the Xbox Ally, I do enjoy it a lot. I feel like it is a significant upgrade. You'll look at online and you'll see comparisons and stuff like that, and you'll see like, oh, there's like 15% difference and stuff. That's and even what was it? I watch Linus Tech Tips. He did a review on it and he did all the comparisons and stuff like that. But he did it with running on the Windows mode. He didn't run it on the the full screen experience, which is supposed to save resources, so that way you can get more frames and more resolution, whatever you need.
Performance, yeah.
Yeah, you can get better performance out of it, and that's just right now. That they're talking about updating it going forward into the future, so that way you could get even more performance out of it.
Yeah.
Especially because they have the AI chip that no other device has. So yeah, I do think it's a significant upgrade. I think it's if you have the original Ally, I think it's worth the upgrade. Obviously, if you have the money to spend. If you have the Ally X, the original Ally X, it might not be as much of an upgrade. Because you're not really getting anything out of the battery life. Because that's another like big sell for me. Because before I was getting maybe like just playing regular games, maybe hour and a half out of it. So like if I go on my lunch break, I play for an hour and then it's already about to be dead and I gotta charge it. But with this, like I took it, so I got it on Thursday and then I took it to work on Friday, and I did the same thing. I was at 100%. I played it for the hour, and then it was at 75% when I was done. And I was like, "Oh, that is so nice." So
That's
I didn't have
pretty
to worry
good.
about charging it. Yeah, that's way better than good. Like and I was running Call of Duty on it, so that's like a high intense game. So I think for the battery, if you didn't have the Ally X and you had the original, I think it's worth it. But if you had the X, maybe you might want to wait if it goes on sale for like a little bit less, just cuz like if it's just the performance, um maybe you're willing to not have to spend that much money just for performance upgrades. But it's really up to you. If for me, I like it. I think it's worth it. But it's up to you. There's also the other Ally. The They didn't call it the X, the Xbox Ally,
It's just the
but
Xbox Ally. Yeah, the
yeah,
white version.
the white version, which is I think it's $600.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see the many comparisons, but I think that's more in line with Steam Deck. It's a little bit more powerful than the Steam Deck, but it's also more expensive.
More
So
expensive, yeah.
yeah, so you might be still better off getting a Steam Deck if you don't mind that interface. But and even then you could probably just install Windows on it anyway. But yeah, but for this, I think it's worth it. If you have the money to spend, I think it's worth it. But to each their own. And I'm looking forward to more of the updates and playing more games on it because I'm really happy that I'm happy I'm able to play Expedition 33 because that was one game I really wanted to play on the go because it's like turn based. Like I don't have to be like super reactive or I'm on it and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm happy I'm able to run that fine. So that's probably gonna be my game or my work game going forward.
Nice.
So, but yeah, enough about me. What have you been playing? That was a long tangent that I
It's
went on.
okay. It's okay. I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 6. When when I have time to play, I have been playing Battlefield 6. Also been playing Borderlands 4. If you're watching on YouTube, you see me gameplay of Call of Duty because every now and then I always play some Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I have tried some of Supermarket Sim on Xbox when it dropped on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I got a store. Even though I played a ton on Steam, I started a new store on Xbox. It's just a lot of fun. The one complaint I have about it is that on Steam you're using a mouse and keyboard, a little more
Oh,
precise with the
yeah.
controls.
I can kind of tell. There's certain stuff about it that
Yeah.
it's harder to do with a controller than I would assume
Yes.
with a mouse and keyboard.
Yes. My one big complaint is people have like their credit card or the cash in the hand, and then they're swaying back and
Yeah.
forth. It's like, hello, stay still so I can grab the fucking money from your hand.
Yeah.
That's my
I
big
I wonder if that's
complaint.
done on purpose to add a little bit
Maybe.
more challenge.
maybe. Either way, I just found it funny. That like I couldn't grab the cash just because the lady's like moving back and forth. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. I'm hoping to jump into this week, some Keeper as well as next week or early next week. Is it next week? Oh man, no, it's probably the end of this week. Outer Worlds 2 is the end of this week,
Oh,
which
wow.
yeah, Xbox is on a roll with their games coming out between the end of September and then all the way until the beginning of November. They're having a ton of games released, so they're like just they're killing it, and I just don't have enough time for everything. That's more than what I'm pissed about.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's adulting though.
Yeah, it just sucks, you know. I'm almost finished with Visions of Mana. I'm literally at the end, but I gotta grind out some levels because I tried the last boss and I got my ass kicked.
Yeah, maybe like that.
Yeah, so I'm almost finished with that. Once I'm finished with that, I'll be able to move on to other games, you know, 'cause I like to like really finish the games.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing. That's what I've been going through.
Nice.
I was really excited to hear your thoughts on the Xbox ROG Ally X because I know you got it and I was excited to talk to you about it because a lot of people, a lot of let's say I'll just say the Xbox tax is out there, so a lot of
Of
people
course.
talking down on it, but like like you said, it's not for everyone. You know, it's not for me, even though I'm a Xbox fan, I'm a big Xbox guy. I wouldn't buy it because I don't have a use for gaming on the go, especially like
Right.
for PC games. So for me, it's not worth it, you know?
Right.
So, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna, talk trash on it. You know, if people want to buy it, people want to buy it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
it's not for you, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad device. Like
Exactly.
I still think even on its own, it's still a state of the art device, and it feels premium. Like that's one, and that's another thing too, that it doesn't feel cheap. Nothing about it feels flimsy. It feels premium, and I really like that part about it too.
That's good. That's good. I feel like this ROG Ally Xbox X. I feel like it is the so like the beginning of the future of what's coming to Xbox.
Yeah,
And I'm just not at the point where like, okay, I want to jump into that, because like you said, it's not without its hiccups, which is fine. It's the first of its kind, so it's gonna have its hiccups, gonna have its bumps in the road. But maybe when they perfect it and Xbox comes out with their own handheld, their own proprietary handheld, maybe I'll jump in then. But for right
yeah.
now, I'm gonna just sit on the sidelines and I'm gonna be like Squidward, looking at all the people outside having fun.
Yeah. No, it definitely like I said, it's not for everybody. Um, it's still the best feeling that I've had holding a handheld. Like I can't get over I didn't think that it was gonna be that big of a difference holding it because the other Ally I even went back to it for a little bit and I was like, ew, what is this? I was holding this the whole time. It felt weird. Um, but yeah, it's that big of a difference, and I think that's what's gonna be a big selling point. Um, for I mean, hopefully they take into account that this is what it should feel like for any other handhelds they make in the future. Um, yeah, but I'm looking forward to all the updates that they have for it because I definitely feel like this is the first iteration of like the software and it's gonna only get better.
Yeah. There's just room to grow. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Should we get into the news?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So this past week, we had a lot of rumors going around, a lot of so-called insiders talking about how Xbox is done because Target and Walmart are removing Xbox products from the store shelves. A lot of misinformation. It reaches all new levels. And Microsoft had to come out and even respond. So the rumor was started on Reddit. It was blown way out of proportion. I guess it was a photo that we now know from 2003. I guess they were just switching things up and how they look at it, but they took that photo and sort of edited to make it seem like Xbox is dying. That's it. Xbox is done because Target and Walmart are removing it from their shelves. Well, um, we had people actually do some investigative work. So like Destin Legary from he the independent content creator on YouTube contacted his local Walmart. He went to Target and Xbox stuff was still there on the shelves, and he even tried to get a comment from the store. But obviously, a lot of the employees there, they don't know really what's
Yeah.
going on their shelves. We know because we were used to
We
be
used
work
to
for
work.
Target,
Yeah.
so we didn't know. Things would just come in, they'll tell us put it out, and that was it. It was part of the planogram. That was it. We didn't really know what was going on. We were just there to do what they told us to do.
Yeah.
So um, it was a lot of just people talking trash about and not knowing exactly what they're talking about. And it turns out Microsoft came out and they even responded to the rumors saying that they Target and Walmart, among other retailers, remain committed partners for Xbox consoles, accessories, and games. And that was sort of like their response to the big rumors. Um, it's been getting absolutely just ridiculous that somebody on Reddit or somebody who claims they're leakers can just come out and make this, and then news organizations or so-called game journalists will take it and write an article about it, and next thing you know, Xbox is dead and nobody knows what officially is going on. Everybody talks about how the messaging at Xbox or Microsoft is really what does this. I don't understand that line of thinking anyway, because Xbox came out over the summer how they're going to be partnering with AMD to make the next generation of consoles. So like we're getting messages from Xbox that say, "Hey, we're in the console space. We're making consoles. We're partnering with AMD." The messaging is clear. I think the misinformation is just louder, and nobody
Yeah.
wants to hear the messages that the Xbox themselves put out there, because the misinformation from the grifters on Twitter or Reddit, they are just louder. They're out there screaming into the void, and people are taking that scream and thinking it's the truth when really it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. I think a lot of the uncertainty of this type of situation, it stems from the whole multi-platform push that Xbox has been going for. Because initially, there's the famous Phil Spencer quote where he said that I mean, he said this about the Bethesda acquisition, which I think was true at the time, that it was about putting exclusive games where Xbox exists and stuff like that, or where Game Pass exists. I forgot, but people look at that and they see, oh, well, he lied about that because now they're putting games on PlayStation. It's like people need to understand that when when the market shifts and when things change, companies are allowed to change with it. They're not beholden to stuff they've said years ago. That was in 2020 or 2021. I think it was 2021. Um, that was 4 years ago. So it's like, why is it that we have to like hold on to every single word that Phil Spencer has said when things have changed drastically since then? We had a whole pandemic that caused a rift in game development that pushed back games almost indefinitely. That now it's causing years to make games. We had a whole AI revolution that's happening right now where everything is AI. Even your freaking toothbrush is AI now. So it's like this things are changing, and they just acquired Activision, ABK. So that's a huge thing that changes Xbox as a whole. So it's like you can't expect everything to stay the same when things around it are changing every time, like all the time. So to constantly go back to those quotes and say, "Oh, but look, he lied about that," and "Oh, he said it was just 4 games," and it's like, yes, at the time it was true, and it's like people just don't pay attention. That's really what it is. People don't pay attention. So when stuff like this happens and you have Microsoft come out and basically debunk it and say, no, we're not pulling our stock out. We're not exiting hardware. We're not pulling our stuff from store shelves. People have a hard time believing it because they don't pay attention. They want to believe what they want to believe, and that's literally what it is. And it come to find out that literally it was just that they were changing things out for the new like Xbox advertising that they were gonna be putting up. So it's like, yeah, they were emptying shelves to put new ones up and new Xbox stock up. So like they didn't even want to wait. They just saw it and like, oh, I guess that's what they're doing. It's like it's like, you ever heard of like Occam's razor? The most simplest and easiest explanation is usually the correct one. That's exactly what happened here. Like that, the easiest explanation was that they were taking the shows down because they were putting new advertising and stuff up. That's it. That's all it was. But people wanted to believe that Xbox is pulling out, and naturally it happens over the weekend. It almost seems intentional. Almost intentional, because all this stuff always seems to happen on the weekend when the PR is usually on a break, or I mean they're not working. So they're not able to respond right away. So all this stuff, it'll happen on like a Friday night, and then it'll spur about the weekend, and then maybe Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon, they'll get a response, and then be like, oh, well, oh, our bad, whoops. Like, no, that's not how it works. Like, you fucked up. Like, own it. I don't understand why people are so afraid to say that they made a mistake. But no, they say, oh, but it could have happened. It's like, no, it didn't happen. That's the point. Is none of this, it could have happened. But anyway, it's all stupid, and
It really is.
it's getting
Really is.
annoying that it constantly is happening, and Microsoft has to constantly put out statements reiterating stuff they've reiterated for the umpteenth time. So
I mean, even in the next story, an AMD engineer had to come out and state that the next generation Xbox is in development and is moving forward full steam ahead despite all the rumors. So not only do you have Xbox coming out and saying, "Hey, listen, we're still here and our partners and these retailers are still here." AMD is coming out and saying the rumors can't be true cuz we're still making these chips for the Xbox. We're still working with them. So it really just like it's just annoying that we have to continue sitting here dealing with these hardcore fanboys who want to take every instance and make it negative about Xbox in some sort of way when in reality, if you talk to average Xbox gamers, like some of my friends who I game on Xbox with, they're just playing games. They have no idea what's going on. They don't even
right.
care. They're buying games, they're playing games, they are on Game Pass, they're just having fun. This is what we like to call the Twitter cesspool, the loud minority online.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what it is. And it's getting harder and harder to ignore. And
Yeah.
this goes for anything, like even beyond gaming and stuff like that. That honestly, this is one of the worst things about like Twitter in general, just because like negativity always gets pushed. And that's why people push it, because it gets attention, it gets engagement. So it's not a shock that what gets engagement is Xbox negative. You never see stuff negative about PlayStation, and if you do, it's over in like a day. Like people move on from negative PlayStation news like in a blink of an eye. But when it's Xbox, it lasts the whole freaking week, and it's so annoying. I don't understand why people like just love to hate Xbox. And not that not that it like matters to me, because at the end of the day I'm still going home, I'm playing my games like you said. But it's annoying to see. And it's like, and it gets to a point where like I have to freaking mute the term Xbox for like 7 days because that's how long it lasts. It's so annoying.
You know what's really bad? If Xbox really does go away, how many people will lose so much money because they can't hate on anything anymore? They don't have nothing to discuss. They have
Well,
nothing
that too.
to talk about. What
They
would
want
what
Xbox
would
to
they?
go away,
Yeah,
and then they won't talk about anything.
yeah. Then they become boring as people who have nothing to discuss about, nothing to talk about. You can see their personality seething through these videos, and you're like, this dude is terrible.
Yeah.
Because he has nothing to talk about other than Xbox, and this is just there's multiple personalities that you find on Twitter who are the loudest haters of Xbox, when really we just want to play games. That's it,
There was even one of them who openly said that if Xbox went away, then they would have to try and find new stuff to talk about because PlayStation doesn't have a lot of to talk about. And they're a PlayStation fan, supposedly a PlayStation fan. And he was like, "Yeah, I know. Like, I pride myself in being a PlayStation fan, but there's just not a lot to talk about when it comes to them." And it's like, well, there you go. Like, they profit off of Xbox's negativity because that's the only thing they have to talk about. So if
Meanwhile, Xbox has games coming out, like just
yeah,
games are coming out. We're eating good over here.
yeah, it's just annoying and
It is.
it gets tiresome.
Exactly. It really does. Let's move on before I get even more tired. Um So we have some more Xbox news, Microsoft news in general. They're reportedly moving its Surface manufacturing out of China. So they're moving the also see the server production moving out of China as well. And this is from Tom Warner over at The Verge. It says as trade tensions with the US intensifies. So Xbox is looking to save themselves after President Trump threatened China with 100% tariffs and more exports controlling on software. So Xbox is pulling all the manufacturing and servers out of China to try and save them some money because 100% tariffs on these things will be devastating to its customers, us, because we know people will end up paying that. Microsoft's not going to bite the bullet. So instead of biting the bullet on passing it off to their customers, they're just pulling out of China so that way they don't have to worry about paying no damn 100% tariffs.
Yeah, I mean, and this is probably going to extend to their other businesses. I mean, I think he hinted at Xbox probably being the next like manufacturing to move out of there. I mean, what else? What else can they do? Like, it's either they keep raising prices or they move out of China. Like, that's how business works. And I think Nintendo and PlayStation kind of already did that, which is why they're able to not raise prices as much. Even though there are tariffs for other countries, they're not as bad. So yeah, and it's funny. I could have sworn that this happened during Trump's last term, where they had to move manufacturing out of China into I think Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Also happened with Apple. Apple's moved to
yeah,
Vietnam too.
yeah. So it's like history repeats itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it's good for, I mean, good for Microsoft, but it may end up being good for the consumers too because obviously my, as greedy as Microsoft can be, I don't think they like increasing prices when they don't need to because they're only doing it because the cost is being put on them. So if they have to push it off to us, that means less money for them because we're not going to buy it. So it behooves them to make it so that way they don't have to raise prices.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on. We enough Microsoft stuff.
Yeah.
Um
Hmm.
let's we have a sad news update from Dead or Alive and Ninja Gated creator. I'm gonna butcher this name. Um, I'm not. I wish I didn't have to say it.
Hold on, let me.
The creator of Ninja Gaiden, Tomonobu Itagaki, he died at 58 this past week. He wrote a final message, and he left the message to a trusted and important person to bring it out to the world. And I just want to read it. It's really quick.
Mhm.
He writes, final words. The flame of my life is about to go out. The fact that this message has been posted means that my time has finally come. And I am no longer in this world. My life was a continuous battle, which I kept winning. I cause a lot of trouble for others too. I take pride in having fought to the end, having followed my convictions. I have no regrets, but I am deeply sorry that I could not deliver new works to my friends. He says, I'm sorry, and so it goes. Itagati. Um, that was like it's really troublesome. Like it's very sad that we lost a creator, a video game creator who everybody celebrated these games. These games were fantastic games,
Yeah.
and for him to have known that it was coming to write something like this, it shows you that the humanity in it with when it concerns someone of Japanese descent. You know, they're sorry that they're dying to not release more of their art for their fans. You know, it was really
Yeah.
like wow. But it's a very sad moment for us gamers and for the gaming community in at large, where we hope that his vision can live on through the games that he helped create.
Yeah, and it's really such a shame too, because like I remember a while ago, he was very much an advocate of re or not rebooting, but bringing back Ninja Gaiden, and he
Yeah,
wanted to so badly, and now he got his wish, and it's just a shame that he's not able to see it like come to fruition. Like he was right there, he almost made it,
yeah,
and I remember he was doing interviews. He said he was one of the very few Japanese developers that was uh very much open to working with Microsoft, because I know there was a point in time where it seemed like every Japanese developer was just kind of like they didn't want to touch Microsoft just because it was mostly because of like the Game Pass stuff, and it just didn't seem like it was worth it. But I mean, we've talked about it. Like you can't build an audience on a platform if you don't release games there. So it's like no Japanese developer wanted to do it, but Itagaki was one of the ones who's like he was very pro like releasing games on Xbox.
yeah.
And he was even reaching out. He said he was reaching out to Phil Spencer about bringing Ninja Gaiden back, and it worked, and he got it. But
Yeah.
um,
I mean, Ninja Gaiden 4 comes out on the 20th, which is Monday,
yeah,
tomorrow from this recording, you know?
right.
So,
He was right
uh,
there.
yeah, it's a real shame because the games, Ninja Gaiden, the games, even the modern ones, you know, the 3D ones, which is the ones he worked on, are fantastic. They're great action games, you know?
Yeah.
Um, it's a shame, really. It really is.
Yeah, he was one of the very few uh Japanese minds that kind of got gaming and knew what gamers wanted.
Yeah.
For better or worse, because sometimes it was a little bit, because he did make the Dead or Alive games, and the I don't know if you remember the Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, which was
You had to bring it up.
I mean, listen. But yeah, he
Listen,
knew.
he knew what gamers wanted,
And
you
that's why I
know?
said he knew what gamers wanted at for the time at least. Um, but yeah, I mean even Dead or Alive, like that was one of the first fighting games that I don't want to say I ever played, but it was one of the first ones I ever got into. Because
Okay.
I played like, Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, but for whatever reason they never clicked with me. But Dead or Alive on the original Xbox, I think it was Dead or Alive 3, I played the shit out of that, and that was super fun. So yeah, it's a shame, and hopefully, um, the industry kind of takes into account like that. We don't have a lot of time, so don't like stress about small stuff. Take everything you have. Don't take it for granted. And yeah, may he rest in peace.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We have the Heavy Rain developer, Quantic Dreams, is making a free-to-play multiplayer game. Um it's called the title is Spellcaster Chronicles, and it's sort of like a 3v3 MOBA, I guess what it is. Um it's a I did have a trailer out, so I saw the trailer and I just thought, okay, this looks like any other generic MOBA free to play, you know, kind of like all the ones that came out and then fizzled out and died. I don't understand why Quantic Dreams is making this. They don't
Yeah.
make these kind of games, they
Yeah.
at all. They created Heavy Rain and like in oh man, what was the last one? Detroit Become Human? Is that one?
Yeah, Detroit Become Human, Beyond Two
Yeah,
Souls.
yeah. Those are the type of games they create. Why are they going this way? I don't understand it. Um, but it's very odd, very odd.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I know that it's harder for studios to stay afloat, especially if they're independent, if they don't have some type of revenue coming in constantly. And I think that's why a lot of developers tend to at least try to experiment with like a live service type game, just so they could possibly have some like recurring revenue. But it's just we've seen time and time again of developers that take a drastic turn in the genre that they create and it just falling flat on its face. So I don't wanna say that this is gonna fall flat on its face, but it's just like it doesn't really like it doesn't stand out, first of all. And I don't know what that means for it going forward because we saw what happened with like Concord. So I don't know. Hopefully, maybe they can turn something around. Maybe they can make it something that seems enjoyable. But at first glance, this doesn't seem like it's gonna do well. But who knows?
There's literally so many different type of MOBAs out there. A lot of them don't make it up. You have the biggest, of course, like League of Legends, Dota, Dota 2, Smite. You have Pokemon Unite,
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm. These are like the bigger ones. But you have so many that just you wouldn't even know. It's like you wouldn't even think about, oh, okay, that's a mobile too. They have like Strife, Paladins, Fates Forever. Nobody knows these games. Nobody plays those games. So
Yeah.
like what are they thinking at Quantum Dreams that they could just, go into this type of genre and just make this type of game? I don't think that these are the right developers for that. Leave that
No.
to like Nelnet or somebody at Tencent to do this type of stuff. Not Quantum Games, not Quantum Dreams.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I think it's more of just them trying to do something different, just for the sake of doing something different.
I mean, it's been what, 7 years since the last release of a game. I think it was like
Well,
2018.
weren't they working on that Star Wars project and then it got canceled?
Well, no, they said that they're still working on it. So what are
Oh,
they
then I
doing?
don't know.
Are they using this game to try and get money to pay for the Star Wars game? Like, who knows what's going on?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't think they know. We'll find out when the game releases, though. See
Yeah,
how well it
we'll
does.
definitely find out. Yeah.
All right, let's move it right along. We have a canceled Assassin's Creed game. Let's get into it. So reports came out that they had a game that was going to come out during the Civil War period, where the game would take on a protagonist who was a former slave who becomes an assassin, and they had to cancel it over due to increasing concerns over U.S. politics, over U.S. political climate. That's what the report says, which is a damn shame. All right, because you're telling me I could have been a former slave turned assassin, killing the up and coming KKK. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, that definitely did sound dope.
That's crazy. I mean, the only other game that I really think that they did that was Mafia 3, where you play as a black protagonist who he's going through the life in the I think it's the early 70s. I played Mafia 3. It was a great game, and you got to, go hunt and kill the KKK. How is that controversial? First of all.
I don't. So that's why I don't understand. Like, what it was that we said it was canceled because of they didn't want it to be too political. But it's like
Games are
all
political, man.
games are political, like literally, and especially Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Like that's literally marred in politics. Like
Yeah.
that it's one of the center points of it. How can you want to cancel it because it's too political?
Yeah.
And that's honestly just one of the reasons why, like, this day and age, it's so hard to really appreciate the stuff that we used to have, because that would have definitely been a thing like back in the day. But now, because all, like, you got to be careful what you say and what message you're sending, like, now you got to be careful. Like, no, like, it's very clear the KKK are the bad guys. There's no, like, politics surrounding that. They are bad guys.
Yeah.
So having a former slave be running around and disrupting that and killing off clan members, like, that's a good thing. Like, we need more of that. Similar to, like, freaking Wolfenstein, where
Yeah.
we're killing Nazis. They are the world's bad guys. There's nothing political about it. So it's so stupid.
Yeah.
But you know there was gonna be people talking about, oh, this is woke. Like, oh, why you just want to kill? I literally had somebody, oh, you want sorry about your white man killing simulator. It's like, what? No, it has nothing to do with it. Oh my god.
It's not a white man killing simulator. It's a racist killing simulator.
Yes,
And if you don't want
exactly.
to kill a racist, you're probably a racist.
Exactly. Thank you.
I mean, that's literally what it boils down to. You
Really.
know, if you're mad that you have to kill a KKK member who's racist, you're probably a racist. Because I have no problem with playing a game that would allow me to kill the KKK or Nazis at all. Zero issues. Give me more of that. Let's do more of that.
Yeah, we need
Shoot,
more of that.
shoot, even in other forms of media, we grew up with Indiana Jones punching Nazis and shooting and
Yeah.
killing Nazis,
And
and
even
everybody
then,
loves that.
like, Indiana Jones was still getting, like, flack for that. And it's like, what is bad about that? Like, that we all were in agreement for at least, like, 60 to 70 years that the Nazis were just bad guys. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. And now all of a sudden, within the past, like, decade, that, no, well, you gotta be careful. 'Cause no, there's no being careful. Nazis are bad. That's it. But anyway, it sucks that this was canceled. Hopefully, like, it'll be, like, revisited, because I do think that this is an interesting topic that could be that could be fun, especially, like, during the Civil War. You probably, like, beat Abraham Lincoln. That would be cool. So
I need somebody from Ubisoft to hear me and hear me right now. Grow a pair of balls and make that game.
Ubisoft grow balls? Shit.
All right, let's move on before I catch an aneurysm talking about this. The guy Resident Evil has report that this came out today. Resident Evil 0 remake is in development with new casting and plot details have been unearthed. So Resident Evil has been on a roll with their remakes as of lately. I was kind of hoping that they would remake Code Veronica, but Resident Evil 0 is still a good game to go back to and remake. It could
Yeah.
use a big facelift. They talk about new chambers that works and just a whole bunch of things that they're getting into, including working with motion capture and all this other stuff that they have going. It's very new information. I don't want to get into the plot details that they talk about in the article. But just know that they're cooking, and I hope that this is as good as all the other remakes, because if it is, Capcom has got some great stuff coming out.
Yeah, Capcom has been on a roll when it comes to, like, the Resident Evil games in general. Um and I do think that this is kind of like the formula that they're just going to go after, that they're going to release one mainline game and then one remake until, like, all the games are kind of, like, in line with each other, and then maybe they'll just start over because by the time they remake everything, whatever they didn't remake is already old. So, um Yeah, no, they got plenty of stuff to work on too. Like you said, Code Veronica's another one. I know people didn't like they said that they didn't really need it, but I do think Resident Evil 5 could still use a remake. It's not that old, but by the time they get around to it, I think it'll be long enough.
Oh, true.
And
By that
yeah,
time, yeah.
yeah, so I think eventually it will get remade, and hopefully they can fix some of the issues where like it was too bright in a lot of the areas. That was one of the main issues that I had with it. And not, it wasn't even the fact that it was more action oriented. I know it was. Maybe they can dial that back a little bit, but my main issue was that it was set during the day for most of it. So it's like it didn't really feel that scary. And so I want them to fix that if they ever go into it. But in terms of like Resident Evil 0, I never actually played that one. So that'll be a good reason for me to like get introduced to that. So
You never played Resident Evil 0?
no, I've seen like videos about it, but I never played it myself.
Okay, okay. I had that and Code Veronica on the GameCube of all places.
Yeah, I think yeah, that was when like the GameCube was like the home for Resident Evil for a little bit. Like everything was on the GameCube and then eventually got ported to PS2.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll look forward to more Resident Evil games coming out, even though I'm scary.
You're scared.
All right, let's get into some hacking news. Apparently, a hacking group called Crimson Collective claims to have breached Nintendo's topic files, attaching a screenshot of many different folders as proof. Among them are production assets, developer previews, and backups. They allege to have stolen 570 gigabytes of data, including authentication credentials for clients. Um, Crimson Collective is sort of new to the cyber criminal, you know, cyber criminal groups out there, and they're
Mm.
trying to sort of really establish themselves. Not so long ago, I think it was a few months ago, they breached Claro Colombia's a telecommunications operator, stealing 50 million clients invoices and financial files. So they're really trying to step their game up by going after some big name companies. Now they're going after Nintendo, apparently having their files. It's a big mess over at Nintendo right now.
Yeah, I did see that they did leak some of like Pokemon stuff
Yeah.
from like future games, and as bad as leaks like this tend to be, or I mean, it wasn't like a leak. It was a hack. Like they hacked a bunch of stuff, including like client details, like you said. So it's not good. But what was leaked from it is actually kind of cool. Like, um, but I mean, while it does suck that I don't think any company deserves to be hacked. But if it could happen to any company, Nintendo is probably one of the ones that kind of deserves it. Like I don't know. I don't want to. I know. This sounds bad, but come on, this is Nintendo. Like you know how much bullshit they've done in the past few years alone.
Listen,
They were
I'll
they were
give
asking
Nintendo
for it.
grip. I give Nintendo grip every day of the week. All right, I will. But damn, they deserve to get hacked. It's crazy.
Hey, listen, man. You stop being dicks. Stop
Be
stop copywriting on and DMCAing stuff online and going after mods and
streamers.
streamers and suing Power World, Pocket Pair. Stop. Just stop, and this won't happen. Well, it probably would still happen, but
Karma has come after Nintendo.
exactly, karma's a bitch.
Oh man. Well, we'll see if we get any more leaks from Crimson Collective about Nintendo or what they are asking
Well,
for, if
I do.
they're
Well,
asking
one
for
thing
anything.
I want to say, because I saw when I mentioned the Pokemon leaks that if the leaks are true, which I mean I have no reason to believe that they're not. Supposedly the next well, maybe not the next one, but the one after the Pokemon game, I think is gonna be like Gen 10, that it's gonna be like an open world MMO Pokemon game that's gonna be multi-region, that you can go from region to region and battle like all the gyms and stuff like that. That's fucking cool. Like that's my dream Pokemon game. That's what I've been asking for years. And if that's coming, then I'm excited.
Well, you know,
That'll make me buy a Switch too.
well, brother Matt's not here to defend himself, so I'm gonna talk trash about him. Um, after the leak that he saw about all the Pokemon stuff, he went and purchased the Switch 2 with
Oh
the Pokemon
no.
Legends ZA. So
Oh.
that's coming to him probably this week. Yeah, he saw the leaks and he was like, "I'm getting it. That's it. Pokemon's back." I'm just like, well, by
Even
that
though it's
time, maybe it's gonna be a new system. Who knows?
right, and then well, I was gonna say maybe they'll drop the price, but this is Nintendo. They don't drop prices.
Fact.
Um, but uh, yeah, it probably would be like a Switch 3 or whatever they decide to make after this. But yeah, because I think they said supposedly it's gonna be coming out 2028, 2029.
Yeah.
So who knows? But
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll still play it on the Switch too. All right, the last bit of news we have is from the Outer Worlds, Obsidian. The directors have tapped Ninja Theory and other Xbox studios to help shape and refine the Outer Worlds 2 and their future games. So this past month alone, within the span of like 30 or 40 days, since the end of October, since the end of September through the beginning of November, so many games have come out for Xbox. Whether it's on Game Pass or whether it's day one games launching, it's absolutely ridiculous. This past week we have Keeper. Next week we have Outer Worlds 2. In November we'll have Call of Duty releasing. So many games are launching for Xbox, and it's really good to see that all these companies and all these studios under the Microsoft leadership are having to work together so that way they can bring the best of technology to these games. Now, the Outer Worlds was always sort of indie, it felt indie,
Yeah.
and everything that we've known so far of the Outer Worlds 2 says that they upscaled it to probably AAA. And just hearing the fact that they've tapped Ninja Theory and other studios to help them with motion capture makes me really excited about the Outer Worlds too, because I absolutely love the Outer Worlds. It was a great game. If you like, Fallout and all those type of games, if you like that type of game, Outer Worlds is perfect for you. So I'm really excited to see what the Outer Worlds 2 brings to us.
Yeah, no, I honestly like when they first announced it, I was super hyped for it, and because I did play the Outer Worlds, and I was surprised at how good the Outer Worlds one was.
Yeah.
For such, I'm assuming it was a lower budget because it did feel like it, but it had so much going for it that it was still good. And that goes to show that just having a bigger budget doesn't mean a better game. It might be a more polished game, but it doesn't mean that it'll be better. But I think Obsidian is such a great developer that I think they can be trusted in terms of like if they're given a bigger budget, they will put it to good use.
Yeah.
And it definitely shows in Outer Worlds 2. And I'm really excited for it. I've been getting like ads for it, so it shows that like Microsoft is actually putting a lot of effort into advertising this and letting everybody know that this is coming out. And all like for the ads too, like they've been very in like the Outer Worlds humor, because that's another thing too, that it in video games in general, it's very hard to get across humor well, and the Outer Worlds 2 did it very well. So or not the Outer Worlds 2, the Outer Worlds, but
Yeah.
Outer Worlds 2, I'm looking forward to just to see how funny it is, especially if you're looking at the ads with Ben Schwartz.
Yes.
He's hilarious. So, yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to this. I feel like it's shaping up to be what I wanted Starfield to be.
Ooh.
Yeah. Not to say that Starfield is bad or anything like that, but I wanted like more like life to it. I felt like Starfield was like sometimes too serious, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like they could have done better in terms of like I wanted Starfield feels more like Elder Scrolls in space than Fallout in space. I was never really into Elder Scrolls, but I mean,
Watch
it
your
has
mouth.
its. No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it wasn't my type of game. It wasn't my thing.
Okay.
I was more of a Fallout guy because for whatever reason, I felt like Fallout had more like character to it compared to Elder Scrolls. So I think that's what I was expecting. But like I said, Starfield, it felt like Elder Scrolls, where like it was more serious. It didn't do too many jokes. And that it was just more of like a space sci-fi thriller type game. Whereas with the Outer Worlds, it felt like what I wanted it to be. It felt like Fallout in space. So Outer Worlds 2 seems more of that, which I'm very excited for. So
Yeah.
can't wait to play that.
Yeah, Obsidian has been on a hot streak this year. You know, they kicked off the year earlier with Avowed, and then in July they relaunched the Grounded 2 into early access.
Yeah.
Now we're getting Outer Worlds 2. That's 3 games from one developer in 1 year on Xbox. It's absolutely insane. They're really showcasing that being under Microsoft, having a bigger budget and being able to talk to other studios and developers and to get in touch with them to use motion capture to help with just anything that they needed to make the Outer Worlds 2 bigger and better. It really shows that Obsidian is probably an underrated developer for Xbox, and I'm so glad that they're getting sort of like their due, because Avowed earlier in the year was good. I played it. I liked it. It was different, and I liked that, the fancy role playing type, and I had a blast with it. Grounded 2, I like the game. I like the concept of it, but it's just not my type of game. I don't like survival games like that.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like, okay, this I can see the charm in it, but it's just not for me, which is fine. But the Outer Worlds, I'm super excited for it. I even got the premium edition for it, so I'll get to play it this week. And that's what it is. The Outer Worlds comes out officially on the 29th, but if you have the premium edition, it comes out the 24th. So I'm super excited to jump into that.
Yeah. Can't wait to see how it turns out.
Yep. And that's all the news we have.
All right. Well,
Made
that
it.
was yeah, we made it. That was like 2 weeks worth of news. So if you are watching us on YouTube, remember you can like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to us on a podcasting app, you can rate us and share us because we want everybody to listen to us. If you look in the description, you can see our sponsors, W Energy, NordVPN, and StarForge PCs. You can save some money off of subscriptions and products from them. And if you support them, they support us. We thank them. We thank you. That's it. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
There's